I'm Shelby.
And I'm Courtney.
We're exploring our past
Looking forward to our future,
and living for the present, all
all while learning how to live
magic.
magically.
Hello, hello.
Hey, we keep getting better at that, but I feel like that one was not good.
You know,
Or intro. I don't know.
it's what the people expect.
I know. Expect a little surprise and delight in there.
Did you see somebody commented on like the YouTube a couple
Yeah,
weeks ago and it was like, "Yay, you did it good."
you nailed it. First time for everything.
Wow. Jinx.
Hi.
Okay, so today we're talking all about traveling.
Yes, but first I want to like a little bit of a life update. I got some stories to tell.
Oh, you do? I'm more excited to hear about your trip and where you're going. Sorry, go ahead.
Let's talk about where I've been.
Okay.
So,
Where have you
I
been?
mean, I haven't really been anywhere, but AJ was in New York last week.
Yeah.
He got home on Friday
Hmm.
and horror ensued. Okay. So he he was at the airport, JFK, flying home from New York.
Hmm.
And the flights, like everything's been so messed up with travel this week. I don't know if you've been like paying attention to the news or whatever.
I don't think it's just this week. I've been hearing like travel horror stories for like the last month.
It's been like bad, but in particular this last week, I guess there was like some weather delays in the beginning of the week that like really screwed things up toward the end of the week. And they have like stewardesses that are like sleeping without a hotel in cities that
Oh my
aren't their
God.
home and like just crazy stuff. Anyway, AJ's on like an evening flight out, which like we're going to talk about travel tips today. And my number one travel tip is take an early morning flight if you can, because it's less likely to get messed up.
Yes.
He's in like an evening flight. Everybody around him is delayed, rescheduled, whatever. He's like so frustrated. He goes to get on the plane. It's JetBlue. He has paid for a carry-on. He has paid to be in row like 6. He's like in the front of the plane.
Yeah.
Whatever. He at some point like unchecked in and then had to check in again for the flight because he was trying to like book an earlier flight because he got to the airport early. So he like
Yeah.
tried to whatever. So he had to like uncheck in and then check in again. So he was in boarding group D, which is like abnormal because usually you're in like an earlier one if you've paid for a
If
checked
you're
bag, whatever.
and if you're
He
like in the front of the plane.
right. He gets to like scan his pass and they're like, oh, we're gonna have to take your carry-on. There's no room on the plane. And that's like rule number 2, never fly with a checked bag, right? Like always have a carry-on only. So, or
Okay.
at least have a carry-on with you, right? Like, and also a checked bag. Don't give away your most precious belongings to the bottom
Yes.
of the plane.
Yes.
So they like take his bag before he knows what to do, and he's like on the plane, he's aggravated, whatever. He gets to Orlando, it's like 10 p.m. He's grumpy, he's like waiting at the carousel for his bag. No bag, no bag, no bag. 2 hours, no bag.
What?
He like has to go to the JetBlue person and is like, where's my stuff? Whatever. It didn't come off the plane. I had to check it at the gate, but then they like didn't make a digital tag for his bag at the gate. They just did like a handwritten tag. So there was no record in the system of his bag existing. And like, he was like, whatever, I just want to go to bed. So he like filed a claim and came home. The next morning, we called JetBlue and they say, oh, yeah, your bag arrived in its final destination in Aguadilla, Puerto Rico. What's the
Oh,
problem? And we're like,
the
well,
problem is we're not in Puerto Rico.
right. We were in Orlando and the bag must have like stayed on the plane and went to the next stop, or I don't know like how it happened, but somehow made it to Puerto Rico. So I have like a lot of cool tips to share later about like what to do in this situation because I've learned a lot between like
Yeah.
travel talk and like experience now. But we got the bag back yesterday and we fly out tomorrow. So like also I was like, am I gonna need to buy a new carry-on bag? Like we're about to leave again. Also, he needs like all his stuff, like because everything that was important to him in life was in the carry-on, right? Because
Of
it's all he
course.
had.
Yeah.
was just like madness. But they cut to like yesterday, they delivered the bag. We got it. I got to go on a nice $500 shopping spree at Target yesterday, so that was fun.
Because because the bag was missing.
Because the bag was missing. Yeah, that's like I'll tell you about that in our travel tips, but
Okay.
like amazing. Yeah, I'm just like all about doing the research if you're getting screwed and like screwing them right back because like
Yeah, of
we
course.
paid for a carry-on. Like
That's the part of like, I get if you don't pay for your carry-on, then yes, you're going to have to check it. But if you paid for the
right.
carry-on, then there should be a spot waiting for your carry-on.
I couldn't agree more.
Wow.
So yeah, madness. But anyway, that was my weekend. And then I got a haircut on Sunday when I haven't had a real life haircut in like since the pandemic. I don't know, like
I
a
was
long
gonna
time.
say, you got a haircut?
Yeah. So I like went to a salon, they like cut my hair, they gave me a little hand massage. It's great.
That's so unlike you.
I know.
I'm on a strict schedule. I get a haircut like every 7 weeks.
Well, I signed up for a like what's it called? Like a recurring appointment or whatever. I'm coming back. A follow-up. But
So you'll be on a strict routine as well.
yeah. I'm like getting into the routine, but I also was like, what is the maximum amount I can stretch out between haircuts? And she told me I could go like 3 months.
Well, you have like my hair gets like I have such thick hair that if I don't get
Yeah.
it like cut and thinned out, it's like so hard to handle. But you have like nice hair.
Yours, no, that's not true. But yours also grows like incredibly fast. I feel like you always are like in a bob or else like very long for your wedding or else like all over the place.
I think that's because I get it cut all the time.
I think so too. That's what she
Yeah.
had to cut like a solid 6 inches off my hair because she was like, this is all dead. I
Yeah.
mean, not that your whole hair is dead, I guess, but
No, but if you don't get it cut, then it's dead. And then if you get it cut regularly, I think it just grows faster. I don't know.
I think so too.
I have an appointment tomorrow,
Well,
actually.
oh my God. Look at you. You're just going to get a dusting
Yeah. I think
because
I
you're
need to
like
like,
you're growing.
yeah, this was a mistake. The haircut was a mistake.
I don't think it was a mistake. I think it was a moment in time.
It was great for the Eras tour,
Yeah.
but like it had its moment. Let's like you know they say like shorter hair, less work.
Yeah.
I agree. I disagree. It's like less hair, more work. Like
Right. Because if it's long, you can just like throw it in a ponytail. If
I
it's
throw
short,
it
you
in
have to like
a ponytail.
style it.
Yeah, I can like throw it in a top knot and like still look like a girl. Like today, my hair is
Yeah.
like pulled back and I look like Matilda's teacher, Miss Trunchbull.
No. Oh my God. Shout out to Miss Trunchbull. That's great.
Um, what have I done to
Yeah. What have
this?
you done this weekend or week?
Well,
Yeah,
I had
weekend.
the update. I had a doctor's appointment today, and
Okay.
they answered all of our questions from last week before I even had to ask because I must have like got to that point now. So they gave me like a packet with all of the information.
Oh, great. Okay, so fill us
Yeah.
in because there was some chat amongst the group this morning. People were like announcing where they delivered and how. And
Yeah. So I do go to the hospital, but there's like a labor and delivery section
unit.
of the hospital.
Okay.
But she also said that you like call before you just like show up so they can like
Right.
verify your symptoms. You don't just like,
Your symptoms. You're like, I have a light cold.
so you don't just like show up, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. 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 Smart. I wonder, like, are you considering getting like a doula or some type of.
So all of that is also in this packet. And I just got home from the appointment, so I didn't like read through the packet, but
Okay.
I don't think I'm gonna do any of that.
Yeah.
I
I'd
don't
love
know.
to hear from people who have. Stephanie did it, had a doula, and like she said it was the person in the room who was most advocating for her, not like
Yeah.
the baby
I've
or the
heard like,
whatever.
yeah, I guess maybe I should like look more into it.
Well,
Just
but
kinda
I've
like
also heard doctors
don't
like don't want that person in the room, so it could go either way. Yeah.
see, and I think like how I mentioned last week is that I do meet all of the doctors. I think
Right.
that helps a little bit because at least I'm not going in there like totally blind because I should know a familiar face at least.
Yeah.
So I think
I
that
just
maybe help.
My question about the doula in particular was because I don't know why I like know about this stuff, but I feel like you're supposed to like labor at home as long as possible. They like don't
Yeah,
want you to come to the hospital until the last minute because like otherwise you're just like taking up space, and also there's like a
correct.
time clock on your stay per your insurance. So like
Correct.
you want to show up at the last possible minute. But then I like understand there's things like epidurals that have to be given at like certain times, and you can be like too late for the epidural. So like
If I
I would be
miss
like,
the time on the epidural,
you what?
if I miss the time on the epidural,
Right.
I that's the end of it. Like we're 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 done here. I don't know how you're gonna get this kid out of me, but like
Right. That's what I'm saying is like to me, if some the minimum amount of information I understand about giving birth is like a lot of water gushes out of you at some point, and you know there's like an emergency, and then you like also have a lot of pain, right? Like a contraction. And like once the contractions get a certain amount of time apart, you're supposed to like go to the hospital. Am I getting this right?
I believe so. I haven't read the packet yet.
Okay. So like how do you know? I don't know. What if you miss the window? I to me it's like the water rushes out, I'm rushing in.
Well,
Like
I think if your water breaks, you do like that means you're like you're ready.
I
But
don't know.
you can have contractions without your water breaking.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. No, I thought people just were like were at parties and then like their water broke and then they were like, oh
You watch
shit.
these.
Yeah, well, I know nothing about birth. So
I mean, not that I really do either, but I feel like I've looked into like it a little bit.
well, I wanna like, can we go on a FaceTime and read your packet together? Because I would like to learn.
Yeah, sure. Because
Just like
this just
wanna know
like
what's
makes
happening to you.
like this is part of the pregnancy I can't handle.
Yeah, well, because you want to know everything. And like, how do
Yeah, but
you
like
know?
I, yeah, but I also mean like the fact that you have to like go into labor is like a little scary.
Oh, like it's gonna happen. Like you've
Yeah,
signed up and it's too late.
yeah.
Yeah, train has left the station. You are giving
Correct.
birth.
Yeah, now I'm like I don't want to talk about it. It gives me anxiety.
But you said, didn't we talk about you're gonna do like birthing classes or something?
I mean, I they said that like we could sign up for them. We haven't signed up for them, but like maybe we should.
Yeah, I'm sure just like exposure therapy might help, like watching a video of a woman giving birth. Because
Yeah. There's
I don't
also like
know.
there's even like they like offer like a virtual class too. So like maybe even just that is something that we should look into.
Cool, cool.
I'm like
Yeah,
also
it's
just
just
like, you know, also concerned about like I have to have all this stuff for him at the house before he gets here. So like, come on. Just like a
so
lot of
all this and like you go home with a like with the baby.
yeah. Kyle like asked me the other day, he was like, so like how long do we like stay there after he's born? And I'm like, not
Five
very long.
minutes. Yeah,
Yeah, like, a day. And then they boot
yeah,
us out and we just like take him home and hope for the best.
yeah.
And like
That's
my priority is making sure he knows how to sleep. So like I'm buying these like sleep classes to like make sure that he's a sleeping child and like my
remind me when we're done. I'll get the one from Steph because her kids are literally magical angel sleepers.
that's what I need. I'm like I
Like
already
through the night, week one.
yeah, like sign me up for that because I said
Yeah.
I even bought a double curtain rod for his room because I
Hmm.
was like, I need one set of blackout shades and then one set of like pretty cute shades, but like or um, you know what I'm trying to say, curtains.
Yeah.
I'm like anything to make this kid sleep,
I
please.
mean, Steph literally has like trash bags taped to the window behind the curtains.
That if I
Like
have to do that,
genius. Yeah.
because
She's like, I hate it. It's embarrassing, but like it works for my kid.
what I just need a sleeper. I need a sleeper, and I will do whatever I can to have a sleeper.
Yeah. I think it's, again, I don't have any kids, but like, I think it's all about the schedule.
Yeah, definitely. So I like bought this like class so I can like read about like the best options. And it's not like I mean, obviously every kid is different, but this is supposed to teach you like their cues and stuff so that you know. Just
Right, right.
teach myself and hope for the best, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Well, and
Obviously, I'm
like,
like everything between pregnancy and then like obviously your kid and like everything is just like you learn as you go. Like everybody's kids differently. That's why like I think I get so overwhelmed by everybody's like opinions and stuff.
do
Like,
you find yourself getting overwhelmed with like people giving you advice?
yeah, I do. And I think maybe because I know that like first of all, like your pregnancy is totally different than my pregnancy. So
Yep.
even if I was to like give you my opinion on my pregnancy, it's going to be totally different than somebody else's. So I just, all of the opinions, it's like you don't know what I'm going through, and you also don't know what my kid's going to be like. So it could be totally different than your kid. So like, I think everybody just needs to do what's right for them. And like, who knows
Yeah.
what's right? The only person that knows what's right for you is yourself and like my husband. Like we're gonna do
Right.
what for us and our family. So like thank you for all your opinions, but also we'll figure it out, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Totally.
I don't know.
Does Kyle get paternity leave?
He does. We're gonna like look it up. He has not looked it up. His work has been so crazy for him lately, so
Well, I would
it's
want
on
to know.
things to do. But I mean either way, he works from home, thank goodness.
Right,
So we
right.
have that going for us. And even we joke about his like 4:30 to 1 a.m.
Oh,
shift.
perfect.
It like kind of sucks, but I'm like, when the baby's here, like I'm gonna go to bed. You can feed him real quick before you come to bed, and then I'll wake up in the morning and I'll get like a full 8 hours of sleep.
Genius.
So like, hey, that's fine. So we'll see. I know he does get some time off. We're just not sure how much of it is paid. And even if
Whatever.
he
It's nice to know it's anything.
yeah, and he's like say like he hasn't used any vacation time, so he'll be good to at least take any he'll have quite a few paid days because of his vacation time. So
Nice, 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 nice.
and if not, my mom is 5 minutes down the road.
That is so nice. So nice. And your mom is like an amazing mom and also like so amped to be a grandma
Oh
that
my God.
like it's gonna be
Oh,
great.
and I have like my Grammy is across the street from her, and she is like
Right?
she might be more excited than my mom.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so cute. I can't wait to see you because you're gonna have how many generations then together?
Four, right?
That's awesome.
Yeah, because Grammy will be a great Grammy.
Yeah. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Good.
Anyhow,
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad you had an appointment and like it went your appointment went well.
yeah. They're you
Great.
know, my appointments are very, very short and they're just like easy peasy in and out. And it's kind of like, wow, this was like at first it felt like a waste of time because I was like, it's like
Yeah.
so. And then I saw a TikTok or like a reel or something that said, if you have these quick appointments and you feel like they're a waste of time, just be grateful that you are having a healthy pregnancy and that you don't want a longer appointment. And
Yep.
kind of really just like stuck with me. So I go in there with a good attitude that if I'm in and out in 10 minutes, that's it.
Well, what, they just like weigh and measure you and like ask if you have any problems?
Yeah, they like if I have any questions, they weigh me, take my blood pressure, we listen to the baby's heartbeat, and
Oh, you
off we
do
go.
every time?
Yeah, for those appointments. Today was the first day that they measured my belly, which is
Like with a
like,
tape measure.
yeah, which is
Oh my
kind of crazy.
gosh.
Because like that's how they measure how like I'm done with ultrasounds unless they need one. So that's
Okay.
how they determine how big he is. And I'm like, what if it's just fat?
Did they measure you like at a starting point?
No.
So how? Okay.
So this is kind of interesting because I was like, I don't know, this is wild to me. So she like literally takes a tape measure and like goes over my bump from like a certain spot, I think like my pelvis or something. And
Oh, okay.
she
It's not like
said,
wraparound.
nope, it's over the
Okay.
bump.
Okay.
And she said that when they measure you, it's in centimeters and it should be the centimeters should be between in the so like if you're 25 weeks your measurement should be between 24 or 26 centimeters within 2, or maybe 23 to 27
What's
centimeters.
and like from what point of your side to what point of your side?
No, so I'm like laying down and it's like the hump. So it's like from I think she said my pelvis like up.
Okay. Okay.
But I'm like, huh. So what if I eat a big breakfast? It's gonna be
Right. Right.
But yeah, I thought
Well,
anywho, okay.
cool.
Our baby talk today.
I love it though. I'm so excited to like learn about it, and I don't know. I'm just proud of you. It's a
Well,
cool life experience. So
sure.
I'm glad you're just like absorbing.
I'm taking it all in.
Yeah.
You are going on a trip and you just like I had no idea about it until you posted on Instagram that you're gonna be in Disneyland. And I'm like, what?
Yeah. So it's like kind of a long story, but the short story is we're going to Canada with my in-laws. We're gonna do like an adventure trip like we always do with them, and like
Yeah.
hike and bike and all the things. But before we go, while we were booking it, I was like researching flights, and it was cheaper to do a layover than go direct because we're going to Vancouver, which is like the other side of the world.
Yes.
So
country.
yeah, well, yeah, the other side of the country and also one country up. So it's
Yes.
like pretty far. I mean, to me, who doesn't love to fly? So anyway, cheaper to take a layover. So I like broke down layovers in different spots. I was like, well, we could go to New York first and visit our friends, or we could go to Denver and visit Megan, or we could go to LA and do Disneyland. We have tickets to use. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, so like whatever. And it ended up being cheapest to go to LA and also the shortest because basically we're flying like over and then we're going to fly up.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like splitting it up. It's night. Our flight to Canada is like 2.5 hours. So
easy peasy.
yeah. So we booked basically our layover in LA, and we're doing so we leave Tuesday. We're doing Wednesday and Thursday at Disneyland and California Adventure.
Amazing.
And then Friday we fly to California or Canada. Yeah.
So fun.
Yeah. So I've been like
there for like a week.
We're in Canada for a long time. Yeah, like a week and a half, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. Oh my God, I can't wait to hear all about it.
Yeah. So I'm so excited. And we've had some listeners. Janice is one of them who's like awesome about giving me all the Canada tips and like what to do and where to eat. And just like, it's been awesome. So I'm really excited to go and test people's recommendations out.
And then report back.
And report back, of course.
Do you have any must-dos in Disneyland this trip since you were like there kind of recently?
I was there kind of recently. I'm dead to ride Pirates because Pirates and Haunted Mansion both have been closed every time we've been there. So I haven't even looked yet to see if they're open, but they better be.
Pirates opened when I was there. It was Indiana Jones that was closed when I was there.
Yeah. So I hope Indiana Jones is open. It was closed when we were there too. Same because we were there around the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been like watching for reservations in the Disneyland app, but I'm so out of touch with like what's a cool spot in Disneyland. Like I know Lamplight Lounge and that's about it. And Kate and Fred always talk about Blue Bayou and another one.
Yes, Blue Bayou's the one that's like in Pirates, I believe.
Yep.
And I don't know.
There's like a fancy one that it might be at the hotel.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah. I forget what it's called, but I don't ever see any reservations for anything cool except they have their own pass holder restaurant.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, and you like can't book it unless you are a Disneyland annual pass holder.
Well, I guess that kind of makes sense because Disneyland has so many pass holders.
Right.
So,
but like I want that. Why don't we have that?
No, we have that like lounge thing that opened up in Epcot.
Yeah. Hey, Brew.
Over in like Soarin', and I wanted to check it out last time we were there. It was so lame.
It's not even like a lounge. It's just like a section of the restaurant.
Correct. They just like closed off a little section of tables.
Yeah, it's not for me.
It was so lame.
Yeah, overrated.
Well then.
So, but I'll take like
lounge.
Yeah, I've been to Lamplight.
Oh, okay.
And I like found there's a secret drink menu for Lamplight online.
Yes.
So I think I got like the fun wheel or something when we went last time.
Okay.
They have a lot of like very sugary mixed drinks on a special menu.
Duh, Disney.
Yeah, so I'm super excited for that. And I've been watching, this is so random. We've been watching Vanderpump Rules. Do you know it?
I've heard of it, but I don't watch it.
We've been watching it, and it's like following a restaurant in West Hollywood. And so I'm like, I want to go to their restaurant. It's called Sir. I'm like, go to Sir and just like see all these people I've been watching on TV for my last binge watching.
I'd want to do that too.
Yeah.
I get so invested in that kind of stuff.
Right?
Yeah.
I know. I'm like, I know you. I would know all your names. I would like go up to the bartender, know what he likes to make me. Like the whole thing.
I'm definitely down for any of that kind of stuff too.
Yeah. We'll see. So we'll see how it goes.
I can't wait to hear all about this trip. I'm a little jealous.
I know. It's going to be fun. I'm really excited. I'm glad it like worked out that we could plan it the way we did.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so now let's jump in. We're going to talk about, I thought today was a good day to talk about all the travel tips.
Yeah, I think today's I'm going to interrupt you and do a review of the week. Is that okay?
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
I have one. It's new.
Oh.
And I love it. It just like made my heart happy.
Oh, I'm excited. I probably haven't read it yet.
Yeah, you haven't read it yet. Okay. Binge worthy magical pod. Isn't that so sweet? That is a
compliment.
I know. Okay. I have been spending my summer walks with Shelby and Courtney, and they keep me smiling through every mile. Wow, she must be like a big walker through every mile. That's like
my like walk is like less than a mile, so get it, girl.
Yeah, same. They are so relatable, and they share such a nice mix of Disney magic, real life connections, and just random fun and laughter. I was sad to have finished binging today and realize I now must wait for weekly releases. However, I know that I'll look forward to those just as much, and the opportunity to feel like I'm listening to two of my besties chatting away.
Oh my gosh, that is so kind.
I know, I love it. And like, I want to hang.
What was her name or username or what?
Thank you for asking. Lavaskr.
We're so good at the username.
Lavaskr. Lavaskr.
Lavaskr.
Lavaskr? Lavaskr.
Well, thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah. We're so happy you're here.
We appreciate you. And to binge us?
Yeah.
I like listen to myself back because I have to like remember what we talked about, so we can discuss the pod group. And I don't want to point this out because now I think everybody is gonna hear it, but the amount that I say like is if I get fired from doing podcasts, I get it.
Do you say it a lot?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. We should start paying attention.
Every time I listen back, I'm like, I just said it.
Whoops.
I think I need to just like when we record, I think, okay, I need to not say like as much, but I guess that's just how I talk.
Yeah, it's just part of your vernacular.
So for Lavaskr to binge listen to me.
Yeah, she heard a lot of likes. That's so funny. You ready for travel tips?
Yeah, because I know we had this one to talk about a while ago after somebody in our podcast group put up a question asking people to send all their travel tips that they haven't flown in like years and years. And a lot of people did have a lot of great ones, but I just thought it would be good to touch on this a little bit more. I think we have done like a brief travel one with us before, but I definitely think there are more that we could jump into for.
Yeah, I think this is like a deeper dive.
A deeper dive.
If you will. A deeper dive.
If you haven't binged and you don't know about us and travel, sure, we are lucky to travel quite a bit, but I will throw it out there. We're both pretty anxious flyers. We're we're not people that can just like hop on a plane and be good to go. So
Yeah, for sure. I would
let's
say
jump.
speak for yourself, but it's very accurate for me too. I need to be like heavily drugged to be on a plane. So
And I need to be
okay.
really distracted.
Exactly. AJ submitted the first tip, and it
Great.
is never check your bag. So
I used to be team check bag, and you probably remember this about me because I would show up to your house for a weekend with a full bag.
yes.
And I'm finally on team carry on ever since
Yes.
Kyle and I had an incident probably like
I
a year ago.
remember.
Yeah, where we were waiting for our check bag for, oh my gosh, probably close to 2 hours, and they were about to send us home and then they were going to deliver it, but it ended up coming out. But yeah.
Yeah, no check bag. I mean, if you need to check a bag in addition to your carry-on, I've never been in that scenario in my adult life, but like if you need a lot of stuff, like perhaps you're going for months or something, then like maybe both. But like you need to have your essentials at hand is the
Yeah.
takeaway.
I mean,
like don't give your stuff away.
We checked a bag for the wedding because we
Sure.
were gone. We had obviously had a lot of stuff for the wedding, and then we also were doing our honeymoon right after. So we did have 2 check bags for that, but we got lucky and it all worked out fine.
Well, and like I'm sure that you packed, like that's another travel tip, but like pack your carry-on always with the things that you can't live without. So like if you're going for a wedding, you pack your bridesmaid dress or your wedding dress or whatever, and your wedding shoes in your carry-on.
Yes.
Like
And
you don't risk it.
I learned that in my childhood because anytime we traveled for cheerleading, it was like the rule that we needed to have our uniforms, our cheer shoes, all the things in our carry-on.
Yep.
Because God forbid we didn't have our uniform and it got lost. So
it's a smart tip. I mean, like, in what world would you ever imagine that when you are walking onto the plane and you hand your bag to somebody last minute that it's going to end up in Puerto Rico? Like,
yeah, right, exactly. And I guess if you do have to, I mean, at this point, also put it in your carry-on if God forbid something happens like AJ. But I've seen a lot of people put air tags in their luggage.
Yep.
So they keep track of them.
That's the first thing my mom said to me. She was like, "You don't have an air tag in your luggage?" I was like, "Wow, Mom."
I'm actually kind of shocked that you guys don't.
I'm shocked too. I'm going to do that. And it's a long story, but I had just taken like my business card from work out of the suitcase. That's like all I had in the hole as like a point of contact was like my work phone number and stuff. So I took that out, but the bag was like naked. It had no bag tag. Yeah.
Oh my.
I was like, great, this thing's going to be lost forever.
Okay, so pro tip, put a bag tag.
Yeah, put a bag tag, and also like don't check your bag unless you have to.
Okay, so I know you just told the story about AJ's luggage, but give us a follow-up on then you must have done research to get this credit or something because you went on a shopping.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, so that's another one of my tips. Know your carrier's contract of carriage. And so that's like a big fancy legal term, but I'm way in the rabbit hole on travel talk right now and I'm learning all this stuff. So your contract of carriage is basically like the agreement between you and the carrier, JetBlue, Delta, whoever. And it's like basically how they agree to treat you and like what happens if. And so it breaks down like if there's a weather delay, if the delay is over 6 hours, if they lose your bag, if they make you involuntarily, if you have involuntary denied boarding. Like I just read about somebody who like a person of size got on their flight and so they like kicked off a passenger and let the person of size have 2 seats. Like anything can happen at the airport, right? So just like know your rights is basically where I'm at. So I looked up JetBlue's contract of carriage and they will give you by default $100 a day for your delay in baggage, but that's the minimum. The maximum that they will give you if they lose your bag is $3,800. So big difference, and also
Yeah.
like a lot of money on the table.
Yeah.
So my like crazy ass gets on chat with the lady first thing in the morning on Saturday and says like, hey, my husband, you lost his bag. He has a really important work presentation today, and his suit was in that bag.
Good.
So like he
Well,
doesn't have it.
if you use the terms, what did you just call it? A contract.
The contract of carriage, right? So
If you
you like
use those words,
right. I used the right words, and I like knew that it said like there was a minimum but not a maximum, and you had to kind of like dig pretty deep in the literature, but it said like you could submit a claim with like
yeah,
receipts. So we went to Target and bought him a new suit. Not that like Target is known for their suits, but like a jacket, a button down, and a pants. We bought like a mouthwash, a toothbrush, shampoo, conditioner,
the things.
whatever, wrinkle spray. It was
Yeah.
$500, but it was just like I said, walk through this scenario for a second. They lost your bag and you have a meeting today. You need to shower, you need to change, you need
Especially
shoes.
when it's like your carry-on items, because it is all the essentials.
Right, like the things you need the most. So we got it all and we submitted it for reimbursement, and it's fine.
Amazing.
Yeah. So like
I also read, I don't know if this is on your list of travel tips, but I've heard this on another podcast, is that depending on what credit card you have, some perks on credit cards, like not even like I have a JetBlue credit card, but a different credit card, they have travel, basically like
yes.
travel insurance. So if you get delayed, I don't know about like the luggage stuff, but you can also look up that, because your
Yes.
who you booked through will also give you a reimbursement of some type, if you have delays and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's my next tip actually. And like, but great, you're so smart. Great to know for your baggage, but also great to know in general. Like if you have, especially if you have any type of travel credit card, which like the Chase Sapphire is a travel card, even though it's not called like JetBlue or like airplane card or something. It's like a travel card. So, but if you want to look up all the perks that come with it, because like you said, you get traveler's insurance. Oftentimes, if you use that credit card to book, you get baggage protection, but you also, like I just looked mine up, and we get priority pass. So free lounge access.
Right. Amazing.
For both of us, plus guests. If we like, if you and I fly somewhere, I can like take you with me. And it's like for lounges all around the world in the airport. So that gives you access to like, if you have a layover and you want to take a shower, if you want something to eat, if you want a cocktail, if you just want a place to like store your bags. So
that
convenient.
Is a perk.
Yeah, huge perk. So know your rights.
What are your thoughts on like buying like insurance from your airline?
No, I've never done it.
I've never done it either, and I think it's pointless.
I will sometimes pay a little more to have the option to cancel.
Yes.
Like if I know I might not book it or something.
Right. And I think you should look up the flight or the airlines policy maybe first, because I know for me, for JetBlue, I can like move around my flights and change them, and I get refunded, no problem. So I don't really know what the insurance would get me if I
like what's the benefit? Are they gonna pay you like for a hotel if it gets canceled, and like the Ubers and the
maybe it covers that, I don't know. But if your concern is like you needing to change your flight, I've never had to do like changing my flight. Not gonna
Agree. Most carry, well, unless you're flying like Frontier, God bless. Which I do all the time. So I'm not like knocking it, I'm just knocking it as a frequent flyer.
I mean, that's my tip, is don't fly Frontier, but
yeah, never fly Frontier. But also like sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Okay. This is obvious, but like I'm the queen of lists. I love a list. So a packing list, of course, but also a list of like the things you need to do. So we're leaving tomorrow. I made a list this morning of all this stupid stuff that has to get done before we leave, like collect all the trash, clean out the fridge, freeze meats. Stupid stuff. But like, so that you're not on vacation laying on the beach thinking like, are those onions rotting in my kitchen right now?
I agree. And I'm the queen of like thinking of a list on the go. So I love like making a list on my phone and just like writing it
Yep.
down the second that I think of it. So I can go back and make sure I
Yeah,
did
like
all
when
that.
you're on the move, it's like always
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah.
I love that.
And
Another, go ahead.
the packing list.
Yeah, and the packing list, of course. And sometimes it's nice just to have, like, once you've made it once, you have it, like a Disney packing list. You know, you definitely
Yeah.
need pins, sunscreen. I
Or
don't know.
I'll start the packing list like way before I start packing. And it's like a week or so in advance. I'm a last minute packer. So I can start writing things that I know that I'll need down. And then
Mhm.
when I like go to pack, I can pull up my list and see what I have or need.
Same. Well, and I think like the process of making the list also reminds you, like, oh, those shorts are in the laundry. Like, I need to
Yeah.
do laundry before I go, or
Yeah.
whatever. Like, dig
Yeah.
those out, or go shopping for the bathing suit, or whatever.
Go shopping.
Yeah, just go shopping for new fits.
That's what I always think I need to do before a vacation.
Yeah, me too. I know. I'm thinking today, like, oh, what could I buy?
Yeah. All right.
In addition to making lists for your trip, I am a huge advocate of making like a Google Doc for the trip itself.
Wow, you
So
were prepared.
yeah, I'm just like trying because like I hate anxiety and stress, right? So I would
Okay.
rather be prepared. So like this trip we're going on right now, I of course have already made my park reservations with Disney. I already bought our park tickets, I already made our hotel reservation, I already booked a car, all the things. But like I have it all in one document now, like
Mhm.
the budget car rental confirmation number, and I have it in order. So like it says
Oh, good.
Tuesday, 9 a.m. get on flight. 10:30 land, 11 budget car rental, here's the address, whatever.
Yeah.
It's just like so nice when you get there and like you don't have to think, you don't have to be like, oh god, what am I doing?
I sort of do that as well, but I do it on my notes in my phone. I'm like a
Yeah,
serious pro notes person. And for
same.
like our honeymoon, it like our wedding and honeymoon, it was very like each day had something different. And I'm able, like on Apple, you can share your notes and it's a shared note.
Yes,
So
yes,
Kyle had a copy of it too. So he was able to just like look in and be like, okay, this is what we're doing today. Because if not, he's always like, what are we doing? What's this? What's that?
yes.
Look at the notes. I wrote it all down for you.
Literally, that's also why I love it. Is like, AJ, just refer to the notes, and like
Yeah.
if you see anything that's missing or like holes or whatever, then like fill it in, but it should be in the notes if we're doing it. So
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we have like a full list of what we're doing. And then I also have like backup. I have a second page of like backup plans in case it rains or like
Oh,
whatever.
you're
Cause
prepared.
well, I just don't want to be like put on the spot of like, all right, we're all standing around. It's 10 a.m. Everybody's hungry for breakfast. It's raining out. We were supposed to go on a
Yeah.
hike, but like we can't get outside. What are we doing?
Especially if you're traveling with like a group of people and not just like your husband. Like Kyle
Right,
and I
right.
are very good at just like making things up as we go. But if you're traveling with
Agree.
a group of people and it's like, so what are we gonna do? Then
Right.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I just like want to have the backup. I want to have options, and like not that I need to run the show. I could care less what we do. I
Right.
just like want to be prepared with answers.
I agree.
So I have my doc going and I love it. My next rec, you would agree, is definitely have global entry and or TSA pre-check.
Yeah, I don't have it.
But do you agree that you need it?
Yeah. It's on my like to-do list.
I just like can't imagine, and like it is free with our credit card. It's another thing that's free with a credit card. So like
But
to
even
me,
if it's not free, it's really cheap and it lasts for like at least 5 years or something like
yep,
that. And it makes your life so much easier.
it makes your life unbelievably easier. You get through you get to go through a separate line. You don't have to take your shoes off. You don't have to get your stuff out. Like
Especially if you, I know a lot of people listening travel to Disney World, and if you're
yes,
not traveling in Terminal C with JetBlue and you're in the original terminal, oh, you're gonna want that pre-check because that line is
yep,
all so long.
yep, yeah. The MCO line is crazy. Although bonus tip, there is a digital reservation system that you can like pre-reserve your spot in line for
Yes. But you have to
TSA.
like, give yourself a couple days in advance to do that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Just like it's a free option out there. So that's kind of nice
Yeah.
to know about. But I'm all about the pre-check. Like it works for cruises. So when you come back from a cruise and you have like customs, it's like a breeze. They just like scan your fingers and have a nice day. It's like
Do
all
it.
about it.
Don't
Get it.
don't be.
We already talked about credit card benefits.
Yep.
I love packing cubes.
Me too.
But more than packing cubes, I've just discovered compression cubes.
Oh, see, I don't know if I could do that because like then my luggage is probably going to be like way over full and
Heavy.
way.
True. But like, I just think the compression cubes are neat because they take like the packing cube and like smush it.
Smush it. So when you use your packing cubes, how do you do it? Do you do like a packing cube for all your shirts, packing cube for all bottoms, or do you do it per outfit or
I'm a per outfit kind of gal.
per outfit? Yeah.
What about you?
It depends on the trip, but I like to do per outfit. So it's like all for Kyle, I put everything as per outfit in his cubes.
Yep.
But for me, sometimes like depending on where we're going, I try to do, I guess it depends. So like on our honeymoon, I had packing cubes for like per location because we were moving to places. So like I knew that this was for Catalina Island, this cube was for Disneyland, that whatever. And that way I wasn't lugging around all my luggage. I could leave most of it in the car and I could just grab that cube and then throw it into my carry-on. And we had a smaller bag to go on those like a couple day adventures.
Oh, that's so smart.
Yeah.
That's really smart, especially if you're traveling by car or like for a long time.
And I just like I didn't want to lug around that all of my luggage for what? This couple outfits. Crazy.
Well, and like think about your trip was like part Disneyland, but also part wedding, part Catalina Island, part whatever. Like keeping the ears in their own cube so you don't have to like unpack the ears every damn time is like alone a lifesaver.
Yes.
I love that.
Taking extra time, I think, to pack can really help your trip because you're like more organized.
Yeah. Makes your trip so much better.
Don't be my husband who would just be like, here's some underwear, here's the shirt, and just throw it in the bag and hope for the best.
Yes. Silence be like a husband trait in general. Just like, we'll figure it out when we get there.
Speaking of travel, so Kyle is away right now. He flew to Philly this morning and he's only there for 3 days, but he had to book his flight and everything on his own. And last night he's laying on the couch and he says, "Oh my God, what happened? My flight's for August." I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "I booked my flight for August, not for tomorrow." So it was this whole thing last night. He had to call and get his flight changed, and he was flying out of like our really close local airport. He ended up having to drive to Boston this morning. It was this whole ordeal. And I just looked at him like, this is why I make the travel plans.
Yep.
So travel tip is check your itinerary before 12 hours before your flight.
Yeah. He probably was like, why can't I check in?
I don't even know.
Oh my God.
Like a work trip that I wasn't at all involved in. So I just like let him do it, you know? And he booked. He didn't even book his hotel until yesterday.
That sounds right.
And I kept asking him, like, this trip was very, very last minute. He just found out he had to go on it last week. But I was asking for days. Did you book your hotel? Did you book your hotel? Did you book your hotel? Never did. Last night, I'm like, did you book your hotel?
And like, they're not irresponsible guys. Like Kyle is super responsible.
He just like has so much going on. I think that he just totally like spaced it. And I was, oh my God.
Yeah. Sometimes I don't understand what goes on between their ears.
It's something.
It's wild.
Anything.
All right. Speaking of between the ears, kind of, I love and believe in, shout out to Aya for creating my first one, a mini pharmacy.
What does that have to do with between the ears?
I don't know, like if your head hurts.
Okay.
I don't know. If you need crazy pills, because they're crazy.
Okay, yeah.
Um, girl, I'm so off-road. Um, no, but I love a mini pharmacy to take with you, like a little you can get from the Dollar Tree, like a little pill pack that has like little
Oh,
compartments.
all the things.
Yeah, and you fill it yourself, but you put
Yeah.
like a Tylenol, a Benadryl,
Yeah.
whatever. Like for me, I always need Dramamine on trips because I get motion sickness. So just
So
like,
I have like one of my Stony Clover pouches, and it basically
mhm.
has all my travel needs in it. And I just leave it in my closet and I pull it out and it already has everything in it. And like, sure, I have to refill sometimes, but um, I never take anything out because I just grab and go.
And you put, I'm sure you also have like liquid IVs in there.
And contact solution
Yeah,
and
contact solution.
yeah.
Just like essentials. And like, it's not, that's another tip I have, but keep like a separate stash of stuff for travel. So like meds in particular, make your own little pharmacy so that you never are like in a situation where you can't find something basic like a Tylenol. But
Right.
also we keep toiletries. I have like travel toiletries, like, and I have gone through and make sure it's always stocked, like a
Well,
shampoo, a conditioner,
right.
a body wash, whatever.
That was last night, Kyle last minute packing. And he was like, I need contact solution. I can pull it out of my travel bag. And I'm like, here's the mini contact solution.
Right. Because you have to have the small stuff. So like you
Yeah.
might as well, whether you're like a refillable gal or you get the trial size stuff or whatever you do, it's just like, since it has to be small anyway, to me it's like, why don't you just keep a separate travel bag packed?
I agree.
Like, and I have everything there. I have like a hairbrush.
And I take that same bag, like if we go away on a weekend trip too.
Yeah,
It's
same,
much
same.
easier.
It's just like the
Yeah,
toiletries.
exactly.
I have everything in there but my face. Because like
Yeah,
I don't keep backup makeup because it goes bad, I
it goes
guess.
back. Right. Same.
But and also you like always change what you're using.
Also, agreed.
But yeah, I'm like all about having the separate, and we do it also for cords. So I
Oh,
have like
smart.
a yeah, I have like a separate bag and it has Apple Watch chargers, has both types of headphones because you know how when you get on the plane you need like the
Yep.
full jack
Yep.
one. So we have like those, but we also have for our like AirPods or plug-in
The
ones.
next.
Yeah, we do. So we like the bag has a little bit of everything. It has like a USB splitter in it in case there aren't enough outlets in the room.
I
Like
think you need to share your packing list with our people in our Facebook group because I think
I
you'll
don't
be
even
very.
have a list. Like I mean I could share my list for this round, but like I
I think
change
it's
it every
big
time.
fun to share because you have like all of the things.
Thanks. Yeah, I
Yeah.
just like I hate I rest easy knowing that like 99% of the places we're ever going to travel, I can buy whatever I need that I don't
Yeah.
bring. But I also just like, I'm a creature comforts person and I just like want to know that I have what I need. And if that means it has to be made into a special separate travel bag for permanent whatever, then like that's fine. But same thing, AJ just went to New York for work and he was like, where's the electronics bag? I was like, here you go. Where's the toiletries? Here you go. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
so much easier.
It is. I agree.
So,
Um,
um, mer, 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 mer. Oh, um, this is kind of out of left field, but my new favorite thing since we have been planning this Canada trip is Chat GPT.
of course.
I know, like, of course, that's where I'm going. But literally, I went to ChatGPT and told it like all the specifics. We're going from this date to this date. We're going with my in-laws who are this age but very active. We are this type of people. We want to do a mix of outdoor and indoor activities. Um, Whatever. Like we
Yeah.
love Asian food. We want to definitely experience a market. Whatever. It put together like a full-blown itinerary day by
Amazing.
day. Yeah, with companies listed. Like, we suggest Bob's whitewater rafting for your whitewater rafting excursion. We suggest this particular nature trail because you are a moderate level hiker, whatever.
Very, yeah.
Yeah, it had like everything. And then I could, you can interact with it. So I said, like, there's no way in hell I'm whitewater rafting, suggest something else. And it just like comes up with other
And
ideas.
also, that sounds amazing for like, I'm about to have to plan a bachelorette party, and that
Yep.
sounds amazing for that.
Yeah, for Ange.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should try it. You can put in like, I'm going with 6 girls. We're going to Kentucky. I don't know what your plan is, but like,
No, not going to Kentucky.
whatever. Yeah, we're going to Kentucky. Where the theme is going to be. I'm doing this right now for your baby shower. You heard it here first. We're having a baby shower for you.
Great.
The
Thank
group
you.
of the pod, but it's so cool. What?
No, it's so kind. It's so kind. I just like
Yeah.
your attention.
No, it's gonna be really fun. People are really excited to celebrate you, and like I got so many DMs about it that there's no reason for us not to. People just want to party and like,
It's very, very sweet. Yes.
yeah, we want to play baby games and stuff. But it was really cool to put in like, Shelby is this type of person. She loves Taylor Swift, Disney, and cats. We're gonna, it's gonna be for a million people, and it has to be virtual.
Yeah.
Like,
You got
whatever the
some good-
parameters are, but it like spat out the best ideas.
Fascinating.
Yeah. So I'm like all about Chat GPT for life, but vacation in particular.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh, this is a fun one for our Disney friends.
Okay.
If you are coming to Diz and staying at a hotel or on property or whatever you're doing, definitely order Instacart or DoorDash or Amazon Prime Now, some type of instant grocery delivery service to your hotel.
Especially for like the things like waters.
Right. I'm not talking like, you don't need to like pack peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for your family in the parks every day and all that stuff. But like having an apple to eat on the bus on the way to Magic Kingdom so your kid doesn't have a meltdown, so I don't have a meltdown, is like worth its weight in gold.
Right. And not a $5 water bottle. You can just have a pack of waters for sure.
Right.
For
Like,
sure.
just deliver me a case of water, not a $5 water that I have to go all the way to the food court to get.
Yeah.
Whatever. Just like you can even like, I will plan the cart ahead of time so that I can just like, when I get there, I just press order.
And it's there.
It's there. And then I don't have to think about what I'm getting or who needs what, or because I'll like,
My bachelorette too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like, you just think about like, again, it's all about these creature comforts for me, but like, I want iced coffee.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be like annoying about it to the other people in the party. Like, can we go out? I need my iced coffee. I'm tired. But also, I want to have it. I don't know. I want to have what I want to have. So it's like perfect to just have on hand.
No, for sure. So smart.
Yeah. Love that. Oh, and this is my last tip, but a really smart one that I just learned from Travel Talk. Always check in, even if you're not flying Southwest, always check in as soon as you can.
Yes.
So I just learned that like Frontier, for example, will overbook a flight. A lot of airlines do it, but they'll like overbook a flight, and then the way that they start like picking people off at the airport, if everybody shows and like they are truly overbooked, is who checked in last.
Oh my gosh.
Which is like nuts to me, but that's also how AJ got his boarding group bumped and why they took his damn bag away.
That's crazy.
So I'm just like, check in early.
Right away, because on JetBlue, for me, because I have the credit card, if I check in early, I can get the even more space seats for free.
Nice.
Nobody else has done it. So if you're the first one to do it and you're 24 hours before your flight, you can get those seats for free. Little perk.
And there's like a piggyback tip is, I'm not Mosaic, but you by default probably pick a seat toward the front, right?
Right.
And then,
so then other seats, my seat then opened up. Yeah.
Right. So I check in early as possible, but I still like monitor
the seat map or whatever.
Seat map. Yeah. To see like what's up.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Amazing.
check in early for sure.
Well, that was really helpful.
Yeah. So those are my little travel tips as I'm about to head out.
We're gonna need like a mom to come on the pod sometime and give me like kid travel tips, because like my traveling is about to get so much more complicated.
Yes. Yes.
But
you're gonna nail it and it's gonna be great. But like I too would want to know what the tips are. And there's a lot we should listen to podcasts. I just found a lot about that topic, but about given by flight attendants. So like
smart, yeah.
From their perspective, what can you do to make your child's flight better? And like how do they want to help you, or how do they not want to help you?
That's a good one. I was even thinking like Ashton could even come on and talk about that. She's like a pro traveler with her kids.
She is. I would love that. She should come on and do it. Yeah, they just did. They're still here, or
they're on a cruise. She actually said one time that she would love to come on and do a cruise podcast. We should do that because she is like the queen of cruising.
Yes, that'd be awesome. Yeah. Especially Disney cruising. She knows all about the Disney cruise.
Everything there is to know about a Disney cruise.
Yes.
Do you have any funny travel stories? I have one that I thought of when we were talking about this one.
I would love to hear it, and I'll think for a minute.
Mr. Bruin, who's right here, he is a world traveler, a United States world traveler, and he lived in Washington for a little bit, and I had to get him to Hampshire on my own. And so I had 2 layovers this day, and I was leaving from Seattle. But to travel with a cat, you have them in like a specific carrier. And mind you, Bruin's not small. He's like he's like a 13 to 15 pound cat. Like he's a big boy. And so I'm lugging him around, and to go through security, you have to like take him out and carry him through the metal detector. Yeah. And I'm by myself, and I could pick him up right now. He's sitting right next to me, and he'd be fine. He would like love it. But of course, like in airport, there's so much going on, and it's like scared out of his mind. So I'm like carrying him, but he's like scratching the shit out of me, scared out of his mind. I'm like squeezing him so I don't like
They like think you're murdering. They think you're like kidnapping a cat.
No, they thought that he was gonna like run away, so they brought extra security around, because if like Bruin ran, they were gonna have to like go and grab him, and then I couldn't get him back into the carrier. It was this whole thing. I was sobbing. I was like by myself. Like, so embarrassing. And then it was a full like probably like 8-hour travel day, and I was like lugging him around these layovers. Like,
I can't believe I never heard about this.
Oh my God, it was so bad.
That's terrible.
You know how you like people watch in the airport?
Yeah. People are watching you.
That people were watching that day. Like,
that's awesome.
But he was a good little traveler, huh, Brew?
What a good boy.
That's my story. I'll never forget that. Anytime I see people traveling with animals, I'm like, remember that time,
God bless you.
Airport.
Can you imagine? I can't even. Nightmares.
I was close. I don't think he would have gone far, because like when he gets scared, like he would just kind of like sit there and not really move. But it was like I think they made it a bigger deal because they were calling over all these security people, and I was then in a panic because now like all the attention's on me. It was
You're like embarrassed. Yeah.
It was not great.
Oh my God. Anyway. Oh, I hate that for you.
It was Anyways. Is that all we got?
I think that's all we got. I can't think of any good stories for me. I mean, I'm sure they exist, but.
Well, if you think of them, we can add them next time. Well, I cannot wait to hear all about your trip.
Me too. And like by the time this airs, I will have gone.
Well, you will be like in Canada.
Yeah, I'll be in Canada.
Take notes so you don't forget to share all the things with us.
All right, I'll try.
Because you'll forget.
I know. We really pack it in on these family trips. We get a lot of stuff done.
Write notes of all the things you need to share.
Okay, I will.
Amazing. Well, I can't wait to hear all about it and have a wonderful, wonderful time.
Thank you.
We'll chat next week.
Yeah, we'll chat next week. Have a good week.
Thanks. You too.
All right. Love you guys.
Safe travels.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.